Now on Nightside, we have breaking news in downtown Spokane. Shooting threats at the Central Library, where the suspect is now.
The rain has tapered off in Spokane, but the windy conditions remain behind the cold front. I'll explain the changes blowing in for Wednesday in the first alert forecast.
And also new on Nightside, veterinary clinics across the inland Northwest are full. One dog owner is racing against the clock to get their dog life-saving surgery. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna. We start with breaking news tonight. Spokane police arrested a man at the Central Library in downtown Spokane for threatening people. Officers say the man called 911 around 8 o'clock and told dispatchers he had a handgun and was making vague threats. The library was evacuated. Police did not find a gun on the man or inside the building. No word yet on if that man will face charges. Tonight, President Joe Biden delivered the State of the Union address, focusing on promoting bipartisanship in a narrowly divided Congress and his plans for the future.
Years ago, democracy faced its greatest threats in the Civil War, and today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken. Power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
Monterey Park shooting hero Brandon Say and the family of police brutality victim Tyree Nichols were in the audience. The president returned to a major campaign theme as he argued for police reform and an assault weapons ban.
We all want the same thing: neighborhoods free of violence, law enforcement who earns the community's trust. Our children have a right to come home safely.
Newly elected Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders offering a sharp rebuttal to President Biden's message with the official Republican response.
Radical left's America, Washington taxes you and lights your hard-earned money on fire. But you get crushed with high gas prices, empty grocery shelves, and our children are taught to hate one another.
Moving video from a small village in Syria tonight. This is Miriam waiting to be rescued with one of her siblings. They were both buried under the rubble after Monday's earthquake. As you can see, Miriam is talking to rescuers while they attempt to safely pull them out. Both children were safely removed and reunited with their parents and another sibling, all of whom were also trapped under the rubble for more than 24 hours. Seismologists say the earthquakes in Turkey are the most powerful to hit the region in well over 100 years. The shock waves from the earthquakes were captured by special equipment at Eastern Washington University. Vanessa Perez sat down with the Dean of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics.
Turkey sits on the intersection of 3 major tectonic plates, including what's called the East Anatolian Fault. This fault has remained quiet, but experts say it seems to be waking up.
2 giant faults that bound the country of Turkey are kind of like a watermelon seed that's getting squirted out your fingers. So as they collide, Turkey is squirting out to the side.
Large earthquakes like this one come with aftershocks, which will likely last years. C-STEM's Dean showed me this map. These yellow and orange circles are spots where aftershocks happened. The college's seismometer picked up the waves from the earthquake. An earthquake of this size makes the earth ring like a bell.
This is a tragedy. This is a human tragedy, and it's always very difficult working in seismology because the large earthquakes that we study, that we learn about how the earth works, cause human tragedy.
Seismology is the holy grail of earthquake preparedness. Seismometers can be used for early warning. I don't see many earthquakes happen in eastern Washington. If one did happen, Bowman says there wouldn't be a warning. The good news is because of the kind of earthquakes that would hit the area, the buildings wouldn't collapse. But being inside during a quake is a different story. That's when you'll want to duck under a desk or table. Reporting in the studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
A team of rescue dogs are headed to Turkey following the earthquake that rocked the area. The dogs you see here are part of a team of 16 rescue canines that took off this morning from Mexico City. The death toll of the earthquake so far is 7,700. Over 5,500 buildings have collapsed in Turkey, leaving countless people injured and trapped under the rubble. The government of Mexico has expressed its solidarity with Turkey and conveyed its condolences for the loss of life caused by the earthquake. Well, here's an animal who needed a little rescuing himself. Residents called the Department of Natural Resources to help a bear who got stuck in a culvert next to a road in Minnesota. Apparently, he had chosen to hibernate there. Experts say it's not unusual for bears to choose above-ground spots to spend the winter, but in this case, melting snow started to flood him out, and he got stuck in snow and ice. A state biologist determined the bear was healthy, 6 years old, and about 400 pounds. He was taken to the state game sanctuary to continue hibernating. Veterinary clinics across the inland Northwest are full. Appointments and surgeries booked out weeks and even months in advance. For one dog owner, every single moment is precious, and they're racing against the clock to get their dog surgery. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur explains what's happening behind the scenes and what you need to know.
Aaron, a combination of reasons is causing veterinary clinics to be booked up. And it's not just an inland Northwest problem. It's an issue that's happening nationwide.
Holly has grown up with the Pickering family.
When we were living in California, my wife's parents came down from Idaho, and as a Christmas gift, they brought Holly. And she was only a month old at that time.
On Saturday, Brian Pickering says he found out that a mass on Holly's belly is cancerous.
The vet we took her to said that they're backed up 2 months in surgery because there aren't enough vets to go around.
Specialists are booked out weeks, months, all over the state and definitely all over the country.
Dr. Raylan Farnsworth is the chief medical officer for the WSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital.
I think we're seeing it more because there's a combination of a veterinarian shortage and staffing shortages.
With more vets wanting to work less hours since COVID.
I think it's just come to a breaking point where people are really starting to do things like adjust their hours to save their staff and to save themselves.
Pickering says he's not giving up.
I told my wife, I said, there's no way we're going to sit around and wait. I'm not going to settle on the fact that we could lose our pet just because there aren't enough vets here. We've got to do something.
Since Holly is family.
To know that she has cancer, it hurts us because they become children. You know, they act like children. They just bring so much joy to the family.
Dr. Farnsworth recommends if you know your pet needs an appointment and needs one soon, it's better to book well in advance. She says the sooner, the better. In studio tonight, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Well, the rain may have stopped, but the wind, that's still out there, and it's blowing in something more. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker for the first alert forecast.
Well, the back edge of the precipitation has moved through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, with snow continuing in the central panhandle and in some of the higher terrain in North Idaho. There is still the potential for some redevelopment here in the next couple of hours, so you may get a flurry or two at your house yet tonight. Temperatures are dropping below freezing tonight. Right now, it's still 34 in Spokane, 36 degrees in Coeur d'Alene. We'll be bottoming out tonight in the upper 20s and lower 30s around the region, even though it is still 38 in downtown in Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. It will not be for long, and the road temperatures have already dropped below freezing or to freezing in many locations. So a lot of wet roads are already icy and will be for the morning commute. Meanwhile, it is going to be a breezy start to the day, and I'll go over the winds as they will die down tonight and overnight and explain where we're going to see the windy conditions tomorrow. We're heading up to a high of 40, and now that those skies have cleared, expect a sunny day on Wednesday. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Looking forward to that sun. Thank you, Chris. A U.S. fighter jet shot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon Saturday afternoon. Now the Pentagon says China refused a conversation with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. China maintains the vessel was a weather balloon thrown off course, but it did express regret. China is asking for the remains of the balloon to be returned, as its payload belongs to them and not the U.S. A move that Representative Mike Waltz is calling, quote, a middle finger to our diplomacy. New on Nightside, the balloon may be dead, but the jokes online and on late-night television are thriving. A Saturday Night Live skit imagined what the balloon's remains might say if they could talk.
Let's see how it looks. Experts were saying you're the size of 3 buses.
Okay, ouch. How would you like it if someone measured your width in buses?
Jokes aside, experts are anticipating tensions between the U.S. and China to rise even further.
Well, it's the big sports story everyone is talking about tonight. Basketball history was made. Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James broke the NBA all-time scoring record. James made this jump shot, the fadeaway in the third quarter of tonight's game, to pass the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the top spot on the scoring list with 38,888 points. The game was paused as James's family and friends embraced him at center court. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Abdul-Jabbar were both in attendance to congratulate James. It was a record that Abdul-Jabbar held for 39 years, and it took James 151 less games than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to break that record. The Lakers ended up losing the game to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Aaron.
Julian, thank you. Coming up, a man arrested for murder as a teen is back behind bars tonight on new charges for attacking 2 women. And there's a new push in Olympia right now to get illegal drugs off the streets. Plus, doctors are looking at one part of the body as a potential source of lingering COVID issues and a way to treat them.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northeast Youth Center.
Whoa, it's not much time.
I know. I couldn't believe it at first, but Eyeglass World really does make your glasses the same day.
They don't just ship them out like other stores?
No, they make them right there in their same-day lab.
The same day?
The same day.
Whoa.
Oh, let me just get that for you. So, you want to go get some waffles?
Get 2 pairs of glasses for $89 the same day at Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses.
I feel safer when you're in the building.
Over 10,000 stars.
History making.
5 U.S. presidents.
The funny man.
Yes. And 20 years of explosive, iconic, heartfelt.
You sure about that?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Wow, you guys really are taking the Zags Win You Win promotion seriously.
Oh, yes, ma'am. If the Gonzaga Bulldogs win the 2023 National Championship, Bill's Heating is going to be refunding up to $6,000 of people's eligible equipment purchases, including yours.
Well, I hope you win.
Yeah, we got this.
STA is a great place to work for a few different reasons. There are definitely a lot of opportunities here at STA, no matter where you start at. There's always opportunities for advancement, things to help you move from one position to the next.
All the departments here, paratransit, fixed route, we all work together to help the community, and that's why I like to work here.
Doesn't fly solo. For every child, there is a compassionate team committed to excellent care and comprehensive pediatric therapy. Joya, every child is limitless.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap and Associates.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. A man arrested for murder as a teen is back behind bars tonight on new charges of attacking 2 women. One of those attacks happened a little over a week ago. The recent attack has the Downtown Spokane Partnership sounding the alarm. The organization, dedicated to enhancing the area, is saying enough is enough. DSP says it wants to see action taken to stop incidents like these from continuing. The organization's president says she wants to see more focus on how and why these crimes are happening downtown in the first place. She says that could help identify ways to get ahead of the problems and address them before they occur so people can feel safer downtown.
We also need to look at what's happening at the state level. How are these policies affecting public safety here on the ground, what we're seeing? And we need to focus on why are we seeing these actions? Why are individuals able to participate in things that are making it unsafe?
The Spokane Police Department says crime downtown is down from last year by about 12%. The department says it's doubled staff in the area and extended office hours. Corporal Nick Briggs added that the assault that took place was an isolated incident. There's a new push in Olympia right now to get illegal drugs off the street. One of 4 new bills, Senate Bill 5035, would make drug possession a felony. Nearly 2 years ago, Sharon Murfin's 17-month-old granddaughter, Serenity, died from accidentally getting into drugs that Serenity's dad was using at home. She now wants people caught with dangerous drugs held accountable.
When you're an addict, your brain gets foggy, and this is part of the reason why people that use fentanyl need to be prosecuted, because we're losing babies.
But not everyone is in favor of these bills. Drug addiction survivor Angel Sam says addiction is a behavioral health issue, and ramping up the penalty for drug use won't solve the crisis.
It's so important for this ability for people to seek services in the community, that the services and treatment be made available to them in the community and not in a carceral setting.
There's no word yet when votes will be held on these bills. New on Nightside, in long COVID clinics around the country, doctors are looking at the autonomic nervous system as both a potential source of lingering COVID issues and a way to treat them. COVID and other illnesses can affect your nervous system, which regulates breathing, heartbeat, and digestion.
So we see autonomic dysfunction in different disorders. We see it in COVID and long COVID patients, but we also see it in patients with other autoimmune disorders after a concussion, after other stressors such as surgery in some rare cases.
Dr. Alba Azola has her patients make sure they are keeping their blood pressure steady. That's one known cause of these problems. Doctors also recommend patients who have long COVID symptoms should try breathing exercises, meditation, cold water plunges, and even acupuncture. New on Nightside, while gas prices have remained steady in the past week, recent job news could change that. The U.S. economy added 517,000 jobs in January, which means the unemployment rate fell to 3.4%, hitting a level not seen since 1969. Experts from AAA say those great job numbers could mean a healthier global economy, but also lead to higher oil prices as more people commute to work. According to data from the Energy Information Administration, gas demand rose from 8.1 million to 8.4 million barrels per day last week.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be a breezy Wednesday morning, but the winds will be gradually dying down overnight. Mountain snow showers will continue through the first part of the day. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about that more later in the news. Sunny on Wednesday, and above average temperatures continue through most of the 7-day forecast. Current winds, we've seen some tremendous improvement from gusts close to 40 miles per hour earlier. The exception is the Palouse. That is where we're seeing our strongest gusts right now. Here's our forecast wind gusts as we get into the overnight. Starting off at midnight, Pullman, Lewiston, St. Mary's, and Kellogg, where we're going to be seeing some of the higher gusts, also Coeur d'Alene. As we go through the overnight, things will gradually die down, but it is still going to be breezy at 8 a.m. with wind gusts at the 18 to 20 mile per hour range around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, even stronger in Moscow, Pullman, and Lewiston. Those winds will continue to die down through the afternoon. Should be a pleasant afternoon with the sunshine, above average temperatures, and finally some lighter winds. Cold front racing off to the east, taking the precipitation along with it. We have high pressure building in for Wednesday and Thursday, and then another weak system on Friday brings a slight chance of showers. Lows tonight will be down below freezing, wet roads refreezing, but highs tomorrow up in the 30s and a lot of 40s on the map, including in Spokane. Keeping partly sunny skies for Thursday with a high of 42. Just a slight chance of wet weather on Friday, Saturday, with a better chance next week, and some cooler weather on the way as well.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
When you pull up in a brand new $85,000 GMC Sierra Denali, neighbors are going to notice, especially Gary. Don't make this weird, Gary. It's the Spring Into a Sierra giveaway at Northern Quest. Now through March 30th, play daily with your Cameras Rewards card, and you could have a brand new, fully loaded GMC Sierra in your driveway come spring. Details at northernquest.com.
Sometimes you're so busy taking care of everyone else, you don't do enough for yourself or your mouth. But eventually it will remind you. When it does, Aspen Dental is here for you. We offer the custom dental treatments you need all under one roof right nearby, so we can bring more life to your smile and more smile to your life, affordably. New patients without insurance can get a free complete exam and x-rays and 20% off treatment plans. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Schedule your appointment today.
Tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, indulge in Coeur d'Alene's delicious chocolate affair.
This weekend's delicious local event is sold out, but we have our hands on extra exclusive tickets. What you need to know to get yours.
That's tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, beginning at 5.
For a limited time only, get a new John Deere 1023E compact utility tractor with a 120E loader for only $199 per month. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for low monthly payments on top-of-the-line equipment that gets the job done, backed by our consistent quality customer service. Hurry in to your local Pape Machinery, Ag, and Turf store today to cash in on these limited time offers and get your property ready for the spring ahead. Pape keeps you moving.
4 News Now is brought to you by Medicare509.com.
Not quite as soggy as anticipated in Spokane. The wettest weather was in the central panhandle. Only 0.05 of an inch. We're running a little below average year to date. 41 was our high temperature. 38 is our average high. We started the day off above freezing. That will not be the case tomorrow morning. This is one of the more exciting things on this graphic, though. Our sunset is now in the 5 o'clock hour, more than an hour later than our earliest sunset back in December. Here's our forecast radar, and the snow is going to continue in the central panhandle, but here's 1 a.m. We do still have the potential for some additional shower development, and by the time it shows up, may be in the form of snow. Here's 1 a.m. and that could impact the Coeur d'Alene area. Less likely we'll see that in Spokane. Meanwhile, by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're still seeing some mountain snow showers finally drying off a little more significantly as the day goes on. There is still a winter weather advisory in effect for the central panhandle until 10 o'clock in the morning, and that is above 3,500 feet where the snow has been piling up, and Lookout Pass and 4th of July Pass have been extremely tricky. Better fly there if you want to go. That's what Anthony Levitt did. This is a just spectacular shot of the southern portion of Priest Lake from a view most people never get to see from the air. And boy, those mountains just look amazing. Priest Lake is such a special place. And Anthony, thank you for sharing this stunning photo from the plane. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Child care crisis has been growing since the start of the pandemic, and now lawmakers are working to create some change. Emily Bloom has that story, new on Nightside.
Ahead of the State of the Union, Senator Patty Murray addressed the child care crisis our nation is facing.
We have a crisis today where people cannot afford child care. They can't find a slot. They're on long waiting lists.
She brought with her a Seattle lawyer and mother of 5 who shared the struggles she's faced finding child care for 17 years.
It's not just a low-income family issue, it's a working family issue.
Senator Murray says she knows how to address the problem.
I have legislation that changes how we look at childcare in this country by making sure that families get a subsidy for childcare if they earn less than $200,000 a year so that they can afford it. That gives grants to communities to build child care centers because we do not have enough child care facilities today.
At the end of last year, Democrats secured a 30% increase in federal child care funding for the Child Care and Development Block Grant, which is set to help 130,000 more kids across the country. That money is being distributed to communities right now. Meanwhile, lawmakers in Washington state working to address the issue as well, but taking a different approach.
By your vote, Substitute House Bill 1451 is passed out of committee.
House Bill 1451 was passed 8-3.
This piece of legislation before us works in 3 ways to try and build that pipeline.
It starts by developing a program that will assist middle and high school age kids who care for younger relatives or children. Second, it moves high school students right into the profession and getting them the training, background checks, and jobs they need. And finally, it'll continue the pipeline to get substitutes who work in childcare the training they need to open their own childcare businesses.
So we need childcare for workforce, but we need workforce in childcare.
Next steps, it'll be on the floor.
It was Emily Bloom reporting. A Massachusetts woman appeared virtually from her hospital room today as prosecutors formally charged her with killing her 3 children. Prosecutors outlined the evidence against the former labor and delivery nurse. They say Lindsay Clancy appeared to be having a normal day running errands, but when her husband came home that evening, he found his wife bleeding. Court documents show she told her husband she tried to kill herself and jumped out of a window. Moments later, Patrick Clancy found his children, ages 5, 3, and 8 months old, strangled in the basement of their home. Clancy's lawyer says his client was battling postpartum depression on 12 different medications and was not responsible for the killings.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Car Wash Plaza.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
It's the most magical place in the world. You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart.
This is larger than any of us.
Those responsible for making our local roads and highways safe for winter travel would like to remind you that snow removal is an important, critical, and precise task. Please give the right-of-way to removal equipment so we can all get where we need to go quickly and safely.
You heard what the doctor said, right, Dad? These pain meds, they're no joke. And this, it's an opioid. They can be very addictive.
But I need my strong pain medicine.
I know, Dad, I understand. Just make sure you only take what the pharmacist said. And keep it in this locking bag from the pharmacy so it's away from the kids.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll put this in the locking bag.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Protect the people you love from opioid misuse. Lock up your medication.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and Eastside Highway Districts.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. Now, for many high school basketball teams in Spokane, tonight was the regular season finale. But for teams in Idaho, the playoffs are already underway. The 5A Region 1 Girls District Championship game featured Lake City and Coeur d'Alene. It was a fun one, and Coeur d'Alene came out on fire. Maddie Mitchell buries the 3 from the corner to give the Vikings the lead. Coeur d'Alene with the ball again, pushing it up the floor again, and guess who? It's Mitchell again from 3. But Lake City, they made the district title game for a reason, and they show it right here. Emberlyn Reynolds finishes inside with the shooter's touch. That's 2 for the Timberwolves, but Coeur d'Alene was unconscious from 3-point range. Mitchell knocks it away, and Tegan Colvin pulls up, and yeah, that's money right there. Coeur d'Alene takes home the district championship 56-35 over Lake City. Now, we'll have continuous playoff coverage throughout the rest of the season and every Friday during Friday Night Sports Extra, so tune into that. In college hoops now, it's the next chapter of the biggest rivalry in our state. Washington State will go head-to-head against Washington on Saturday in Pullman, and there will be a familiar face on that Huskies sideline. Should make things very interesting. Former Washington State guard Noah Williams will make his return to Pullman. Williams transferred to Washington last year. Now, with Williams now in enemy territory, it's expected to be loud and crazy at Beasley Coliseum. Cougars head coach Kyle Smith says his team is up for the challenge.
It's obviously going to be a emotional game for both teams. Your former teammate and Noah's pretty boisterous is a proper term. And yeah, just about us, it's about team versus team. I'm sure Mike's saying the same thing to his team. So, but it'll be a fun environment. It's a rivalry game, and it's kind of what makes college sports fun. But I think we'll do our best.
And that guy you just saw right there, Noah Williams, public enemy #1 in Pullman. Tip-off between the Cougars and Huskies is set for 7:30 on Saturday from Beasley Coliseum. Also, Washington State guards DJ Rodman and Dylan Darling are expected to return to the team. Rodman and Darling missed last weekend's road trip to Los Angeles due to illnesses. Washington State baseball coach Brian Green is entering his 4th season with the team. The expectations are higher than ever. The Cougars have had 3 straight winning seasons under Green, but no NCAA tournament appearances. It's been 13 years, actually, since WSU has made an NCAA regional. Green says that's the goal this season.
As we enter into year 4, see if this program can cross the line. You know, we've had 3 winning seasons. That's fine, and we're excited about that, and we're certainly ascending. But we're looking to cross that line, you know, and make that selection Monday a memorable day for this program.
Opening day, February 17th in Phoenix against Villanova. And LeBron James is the NBA's all-time scoring record holder with a 38-point performance. Tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers superstar surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing record of 38,387 points. James broke it after that basket there in the 3rd quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The game was paused as James' family and friends and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar congratulated James at center court. And it was a record that was held for 39 years. Pretty crazy. It's broken now. That will wrap us up with sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Hi, I'm Chris with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Right now is the best time to get your vehicle in to get it checked over. Come on in for a free winter inspection. We're going to check your brakes, shocks, struts, tires, air filter, wiper blades, and your heating and cooling system to make sure you're winter ready. If you can't make it into one of our shops, give us a call. We now have a mobile service. We offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We support our local law enforcement, our schools, our nurses and doctors, and we're here to support you. Come and try us out. We are a friendly neighborhood service repair center.
Alcoholism and drug addiction are very treatable with evidence-based therapies. Colonial Clinic, a Spokane outpatient treatment center, can start patients in treatment the same day they call. We've been solving addiction problems for individuals and their families for over 3 decades. Through closed group therapy, clients advance together with their common experiences toward a healthy lifestyle. We offer addiction treatment, mental health counseling, and now medication-assisted therapy for those who need it. Call for a free consultation. Colonial Clinic. Call today, start treatment tomorrow.
At Mazda, we engineer confidence behind the wheel for all our drivers. The fact that the 2023 Mazda CX-5 remains the only small SUV in its class to achieve the highest rating in the new IIHS Side Impact Crash Test as of July 2022 ensures this confidence also extends to our passengers.
The all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 was built for the Pacific Northwest. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
tomorrow afternoon is going to be great. The winds will die down. Those are going to be crisp tomorrow morning.
Yes.
High of 41, sunshine. Lovely. And then more sunshine on Thursday.
I'm looking forward to that sunshine. And then this whole week, almost this whole week, in the 40s at least.
Yeah. Tuesday, things start to slide below average.
No.
But
I was hoping we were turning a corner of sorts. I know it's early.
Well,
it's February.
It is February.
February is a pretty good month. I dig it. See you tomorrow.